my creative friends, and welcome back to Zen and Creativity YouTube channel, your daily source of artistic inspiration during the Inktober Tangles 2023. I'm Yehudit Steinberg, your Certified Zentangle Teacher, and it's an absolute delight to be here with you once again. If you're enjoying our videos, please consider liking, subscribing, and ringing that bell of notification so you never miss a moment of creative exploration. We're dedicated to making the Zentangle method accessible to everyone, whether you're a beginner or an experienced tangler. No question is too small, so feel free to ask us in the comments. And better yet, don't forget to join our Lively Sunday virtual art lab. It's a perfect place to connect with like-minded artists from around the world and get your questions answered. You can get all that information in the description of this video. And for your convenience, I have now added chapters in the video descriptions so you can easily jump to the step out or follow the pattern drawing step by step. Check the video description for quick navigation. Join us live this Sunday on Zoom when we draw the pattern for day 22, Syndeo Together. Register on Eventbrite. Link is in the description for the Sunday Art Lab meetups. We have a growing group from all over the globe. But before we dive into today's tangle, let's take a moment to revisit the beautiful patterns we've explored in the past few days. On day 16, we learned walnuts, an easy heart with nut overtones, followed by Acropolis on day 17, and Athens, Greece inspired tangle. On day 18, Zato, a Japanese inspired tangle meaning eternity. It's always a pleasure to learn and create together. Now let's get started with introducing today's tangle, Knightsbridge, an original tangle by Zentangle Inc. Knightsbridge is a Zentangle original pattern created by the originators of Zentangle, Rick Roberts and Maria Thomas. I teach this pattern in our 4-week beginner series being offered in January 2024. Knightsbridge is a parent of the grids and is so much fun with which to play. This pattern is a grid pattern that creates a lot of contrast within your drawing. It can be drawn as a square tangle or on an angle as a diamond-shaped tangle. Knightsbridge provides a nice contrast to balance with other tangles. It also offers different looks when the grid is drawn straight or with a curved line grid. Large sections of dark add drama to the pattern. And as I mentioned, it is an easy beginner pattern. It has unlimited customization options. Also, this simple grid is the basis for many advanced patterns. Once you master the straight on the grid, you can wiggle the lines and really distort things. This is what we now call crazy Knightsbridge. If you want more in-depth options for Knightsbridge, go to tanglepatterns.com and search by title. There are numerous videos on that page there for you to learn many other options. For your convenience, I've added chapters in the video descriptions so you can easily jump to the step out or follow the pattern drawing step by step. Check the video description for quick navigation. Now we're on my studio desktop here, and we have the step out for Knightsbridge. We have the supplies that I'm going to be using, the 2-inch bijou tile, and where we're headed with the Tangle Knightsbridge. Now, I also, if you haven't joined our art lab and received your beginner's guide, you can download that. I have different templates, and I do have practice sheets, 2-inch practice sheets for you to use as well during Inktober Tangles 2023. So let me describe, if this is your first time here, I'm using a pencil for any sketching that I do. I have a Micron 01, which is my very fine point, and I have an 08, which I use for inking. And I also included my 12 tip that I may use because we're using a lot of ink in this particular pattern. I have my graphite for blending, and I have 2 types of blending tools here. I have one for very fine areas that I want to blend, and then I have one that's a little larger. Now is the time to take your screenshot of today's tangle pattern. The category for Knightsbridge, I put it, well, we mentioned I put it in the grid. We also put it in drama. And I also have it in my go-to tangle. It is one of the 31 tangles that I teach in the beginners program. If you're an absolute beginner and you're here participating in Inktober Tangles challenge, note that it's a challenge that has some patterns that are more challenging than others. Today is an easy pattern, and I've broken it down into very simple steps, and I've also included a way that I use it for not getting confused where I'm going to put my ink. But follow me step by step and create a copy of the step out on your practice sheet you get when you register for the beginner's guide that comes with the Sunday meetup registration. This is really helpful and a great way to learn the nature of the pattern and also to learn the pattern. If you do complete the step out, by the time you get to the 6th step, you will have a good idea of the characteristic of this pattern. And for your convenience, I've added chapters in the video description if you have to review a special part of the video, so you can easily jump to the step out or follow the pattern drawing step by step. Check the video description for quick navigation. If you're enjoying our tutorials and haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. It helps us reach more creative folks like yourself. So now it's time to get started drawing Knightsbridge. I'm going to draw it on a 2-inch bijou tile. I'm going to start with my graphite. And I'm going to start with, first I'm going to do the 4 dots in a corner that we do in Zentangle. Now in Zentangle, we also turn our tile to keep our hand in the same place and move the tile to where our hand is most comfortable. This helps us to create consistent line drawing. So I'm drawing a 4 dots and a border. And now I'm going to do the first step. And if you see first step is we're going to do the straight lines here because that's the best way to learn this pattern. We're going to start with straight lines, and then you can, once you have a hang of this pattern, then you can start creating curved lines. And as I mentioned, tanglepatterns.com, if you go to that website, you can search for Knightsbridge, and you will see a number of different videos that you can work with. So I'm going to draw, because this is 2 inches, I'm going to start with 4 lines. A lot of times, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to start with my pencil because I want to show you that this is totally okay. More experienced tanglers, they dive in with their pen. But as a beginner, it's totally fine to start with your graphite. So that's fairly equal. That, I like that. I think we're going to work with that. So I'm going to come in. I think I'm going to use my 08 so you can see better. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to outline this outside because it is a grid pattern. And notice I'm turning my tile. Okay. So we've now completed step 1. On to step 2, we're going to make the checkerboard. So now I'm going to draw the horizontal lines. I have turned my tile so that I can get them straight. And I'm going to do what I did last time, which I started in the middle, kind of eyeballed it, and did a line, and then I divided each side in half. If it's not exact, it doesn't really, it's not going to really matter. Now, step 3, we're going to pick a square. I'm going to see if the 12 actually works. So if you see, I just put up the step out again. Take a look at number 3 and see that I came in and I blackened one of the boxes. Now, where this takes you in terms of focus and a high focus is that you want to make sure that you darken in the right boxes. And so they are actually diagonal. So I take a look at, we're skipping. So on this line, we darkened in this one. We're going to come over here and darken that one. Now, when I look at the first line here, this is going to stay white. This is going to be black. This is going to have ink, and this stays white. So I have those marked out. I actually mark out the boxes that, and you can see they work on a diagonal as well. But that way, if I get called away, maybe depending on your life situation, you could get called away for a number of reasons, and you come back, at least you know where your place is. And that's worked really well for me. So I'm going to continue to darken in. And this is basically this is the step. Then we're going to shade. So, and embellish. This 12 is working really nice. The 8, 10, and 12 are relatively new. Maybe a year. I'm going to turn my dial. So I'm keeping my hand in the same place. So if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments section on this video, and I will answer your questions. On Sunday, we have a live Zoom art lab, and that's a place where you can come and ask your questions, get clarification, meet other tanglers from around the world, and have fun. So that link to join is in the description. This Sunday, we're going to do day 22, Zentangle Tangle together during our time together in the art lab. So if that's something that you would like to partake in, then the link is in the description. Join us, and we love to have you. And coming up in November, we'll continue the art lab into the beginners series, and that will be Sunday meetups, especially for beginners, all your beginner questions to be answered. I see in one of the groups I'm in, new people come all the time, and they don't know where to start, have lots of questions. We're going to have you're going to have a live chance to come and really get a solid foundation for this art practice. Okay, so I've now completed the pattern, and the next step is that we're going to shade. And the first lesson is when you take your graphite and you start shading, you don't want to use it on the ink spots because it's already dark, and it gives it a shine if you're using graphite. So we're going to go to these lighter, to the white boxes, and we're going to put a touch on the inside of this line. We're going to put a line. And I know that my camera doesn't show it up as much as it shows up in person. But what's going to happen here is we're going to create a pillow effect. So we're going to lay down this graphite. I did it all the way around. Then I'm going to pick up, I think I'm going to try the little one. And I'm just going to do these little circles towards the inside. And it starts to round off. Do not take it all the way. Just keep it on the edge. And what you want to do is, you see how I have a line here? You don't want that line. You want it to blend and be gradual. See how it's starting to do that? So we're going to go all the way around on these white area. Knightsbridge. This was in a lot of old houses and buildings. This was a tile pattern on the floor. So you can see that in a lot. Okay, so now I've done my outside shading. There are a few other things I can do. I can come around and establish the outside line for this. This pen is a little bit, I think it's running out of ink. I know I've been using it a lot. So let's see. Okay. Now, the other thing I can do to add some interest is I can come around and I can aura this. Give it a little bit of a finished look. Now, you don't have to do this. I'm just showing you a couple of options to embellish. And another thing that you can do, I like to use gold or white. I also am checking with that I see some, little white spots, so I can come back and make sure I have good coverage. So you can do that. And then I can come in with gold or white gel. And I can create a little design inside. So there's a lot of options, and this pattern is very well known and popular. As I said, tangle.com will give you some other videos on it, and there'll also be videos for Inktober Tangles. So have a lot of fun with it. It's a great tangle. Well, that concludes Knightsbridge with the step out and how to draw Knightsbridge. If you're enjoying our tutorials and haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. It helps us reach more creative folks like yourself. Don't forget about our Sunday virtual art lab. This Sunday, we are drawing day 22 together in our art lab. You can ask your questions and get them answered. Syndeo in Greek means bind or tie together. Our Sunday art lab is a vibrant community where we learn, share, and grow together. Check out the descriptions for all the details. And don't forget, I've added chapters in the video description so you can easily jump to the step out or follow the pattern, drawing step by step. Check the video description for quick navigation. As we look ahead, mark your calendars for our upcoming beginner series in November. Starting in November, our Sunday art lab on Zoom starts with Beginners Sunday. Easy pattern demonstrations. You can draw with me. Registration opens on Sunday, the 22nd. It's a perfect opportunity to deepen your Zentangle practice. Plus, for those who'd like to show a little extra support and buy us a virtual cup of coffee, visit our Ko-fi.com tip jar. Your support keeps this creative space going. That's it for today's Tangle exploration. Remember, there's no behind and just a world of creativity ahead. Stay inspired, and we'll see you on day 20. And happy tangling!